YouTube. Day made, money made. Flatbed Shy, yeah. Chilling at the TA for the night. I had some extra parking, so I said I'll swing in. I don't usually like parking at truck stops. I'm more of a rest area guy and a non-mainstream truck stop type of guy. But I just want to give out a few tips to some of the newer guys, the guys that's getting into trucking. Um, Two of the biggest things that when I first started were two things that I knew right away I needed to work on. Whether that was when I was with my trainer and then once I got by myself. So the two biggest things were finding a place to park and actually trip planning as far as it goes going through major cities. So let me turn the air conditioner on a little warm back here. But one of my first instances, I downloaded the first app that you probably should download is Trucker Path. It gives you access to all truck stops and things like that. But one of the things that I've noticed about Trucker Path is sometimes when it refers to rest areas, it doesn't say whether or not the rest areas are closed. And so sometimes you're banking on stopping there and you not know it's closed. So another app that I got is called Rest Stops. And so it go interstate by interstate, and so it will tell you whether or not the particular rest area is closed, so you can plan your trip accordingly to stop. So you should plan out at least 3 spots, okay? 3 spots, and understanding that certain areas you go to, you have more truck stops available to you than other spots that you go to. Now let's just take, I don't know, let's just take Texas for instance. That's where I'm at right now. I know that Texas has quite a few truck stops. You know, whether it's the TA Petro or if it's just a mom and pop spot. So, and they have a lot of rest areas on any interstate. So I know that's a place that I can get parking. But just say if you end up and you got to go down, let's just say a U.S. highway. Your spots may be few and far between, so you need to understand where you're going to stop at least 3 spots prior. Another thing that you need to take into consideration is, I've noticed this a lot in Texas, is if you're in the city, let's just say Dallas, Houston, because I run those areas pretty regularly, 3 to 4 o'clock p.m., you ain't got nowhere to park. I mean, that's just what it is. So you need to anticipate that if you're in an area like that. And so when you drive, you'll understand certain areas, truck stops fill up sooner than some in different states. So 3 truck stops that I recommend if you're in that area, based on food, of course. It's a truck stop in Crowley, Louisiana, which is right off of I-10. I can't remember the exit, but the Rice Palace is there. But they also have another restaurant right next door to it called Fizio's. Best shrimp I probably ever tasted outside of. It's another truck stop in Gary, Indiana, a TA. It has a seafood spot right across the street. And so I know Gary, Indiana is considered a pretty rough place, and once you get there, you'll see, you got armed security walking around, riding around, just making sure. But that seafood spot right next door to it is awesome. The 3rd spot is in Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. It's on I-40. It's a pilot, and I always go there and get parking. Have a great barbecue place right next to it. So if you're in those particular areas, I gave you 3 spots to stop at. You can get you a good night's rest, and you can get something to fill up your stomach. Okay, moving on to the trip planning part outside of finding your place to stop. Now, something a lot of you guys may notice once you start getting in the truck is when you cross through, let's just say, Atlanta, Baton Rouge, Chicago, Houston, Dallas, Nashville. Just trying to think right off the top of my head. Those are just the ones that just come to mind as places that you need to understand when the morning traffic, lunch traffic, afternoon traffic. So if you can master the way of getting in probably right after the morning traffic has died down, get out maybe after the lunch traffic or get out before the lunch traffic, and try your hardest to avoid the afternoon traffic. Especially the two roughest places I've been through is 285 in Atlanta and I-10 East going through Baton Rouge, the westbound. Well, yeah, going back east. I-10 East going back through Baton Rouge. Like, once you get to the bridge, like, it's hectic. It's not enough. You don't have enough room to maneuver around. Texas, I like Texas because Texas has a lot of overpasses, and I feel like a lot of states should take notes of what Texas does because they have a lot of traffic, but they also have the roads accessible, so it's not a drag as if, like, you know, like I said, on I-10, he's going through Baton Rouge, and on I-285 in Atlanta. I-90 gets pretty rough up around Chicago, but I don't really think it's as bad as 285 and I-10 he's getting out of Baton Rouge. So those are my tips. Trip plan, get you 3 spots on Trucker Path, find Trucker Path, and get you the rest stops out. Find you 3 spots. Also, and here's another rule of thumb. This is just me, and I feel like this is kind of universal. After 8 o'clock, in most places that I go through, truck stops are full. You got at least to 9:30, 10 p.m. for rest stops. After that, catch you a curve. And I end with this story right here. I think it was my second week in the truck. I was in Tennessee. I didn't take my own advice. So I got to a rest area. I went in the rest area. All the spots were full. I saw a sign that said no parking on the shoulder. So I said, well, maybe if I just drive past the sign, since they don't want you to park here, because I didn't see any more signs down the road. So I went down, I stopped. So I went to sleep. Probably about 3 a.m. Boom, 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 boom. So I said, man, what is this? Go outside, state troopers right there. 4 more trucks behind me. Say, hey, man, y'all gotta go down to the pilot. I'm looking at my clock. I've only been in sleeper for like 6 hours. The pilot is 2 miles down the road. So I go down to the pilot, okay, mess my reset, my brake completely up. Tell my fleet manager about it. This happened in Tennessee. I don't remember the rest area, but anytime I'm in Tennessee, you know, I try, you know, not to go to a rest area. I try to get in a truck stop, or I just try to get out of Tennessee. You know, he didn't write me a ticket, but that right there, getting woke up and messing up your brake, and you know, I didn't get to deliver the load the very next day. I had to deliver the load the day after that. I cost myself money. So that was a mistake that I made early that I said I'm not gonna make that mistake again. So you guys, it's easy to, you know, something like that could happen. So like I said, get your 3 spots. My rule of thumb, after 8 p.m., truck stops are packed. You got into 9:45, 10 p.m. Rest areas are packed. After that, you're gonna catch you the shoulder, the on route. Okay, and then trip plan accordingly and try to get your routes based around those particular times of traffic move. Cause I got caught in Austin, Texas today, and it's not fun, but at least if you get stuck in traffic, at least let me look at some stuff. You know, I get out here, I like looking at stuff. So I was able to see Texas, the University of Texas Stadium. Austin is a beautiful city, okay? So, but getting stuck on 285 is nothing to look at. So I tell you that. So again, it's Flatbed Shy. You have any questions, you can email me at shyhorn@yahoo.com. Again, shout out for Golden Child, Chasing Andrew Jackson, the Wright brother, and Loshawn Parks. I'm out.